A very good morning, Zimbabwe. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this morning, we are taking a look on what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, particularly the SADC region. And presidential spokesperson of President Emerson Mnangagwa, George Charamba, has launched a scathing attack on Dr Mumba, the head of election mission in the nation of Zimbabwe, who was leading a SADC election or electoral observer mission. So we need to get through this so that you get to hear what he had to say. Remember, the SADC electoral observer mission was giving a report regarding ZEC. Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is yet to respond, but we've seen the presidential spokesperson responding to this. Let us get what he had to say.
We are seeing an enthusiastic chairman of a process which is in fact a SADC one. He does not report to the Zambian people, which is why we all were flabbergasted to find him spending as much as more than 2 hours on a national television. Who is he reporting to? This is a SADC mission, for goodness sake, appointed by the chairman of a SADC organ, not a SADC summit, SADC organ, right? What it means is the preliminary report still has to, one, become a final report. And when it becomes a final report, it still has to be tabled before a council of ministers, which is really a body which brings together foreign ministers of SADC.
Of the 12?
Yes. No, it is actually, it could be larger actually, right? So there's a council of ministers and it's probably meeting around February, March, right? Then when that has happened, then the foreign ministers must look at that report. They will then push it upwards to the SADC Troika, which will be around or thereabout, right? It still has to come to summit.
Yes.
And this will be about August next year, right? It is only at summit that report is tabled, discussed, amended, endorsed, or rejected.
So this is what George Charamba says. George Charamba says that whatever we have seen happening right now with the report, it does not matter. He clearly indicates that this report will begin to matter in August next year. That is when the SADC summit will have to sit down to actually take a look onto that issue. But the question is, how does SADC respond to crisis? When there is a crisis, how does SADC respond to crisis? That is a very important to note. So, Team Zimbabwe, we need to take a look on how SADC responds to crisis, and that is very, very, very important for the people of Zimbabwe to know. How can SADC quickly intervene and deal with a crisis? If there is a crisis, how can they quickly intervene and deal with this issue? So you would see that in 2009, Robert Mugabe endorsed himself, elected himself, declared himself, and became president, inaugurated himself. And the crisis was there. Thabo Mbeki came in, negotiations started, and it took months for that crisis to be resolved. But in my view, it started earlier than more than 6 months. So what it means is, in my view, if this election in Zimbabwe becomes a crisis, it won't be treated the same way SADC is supposed to be treating some cases. For an example, George Charamba is saying this report will have to wait for the sitting of the foreign ministers to go to another level and up to August, where the summit is going to sit. But in terms of crisis, you don't wait for summit to sit before you resolve the crisis, because the issue is about conflict management. SADC is there to make sure that they reduce conflict, they manage conflict, they deal with matters of crisis before they cause massive problems. So what it means is George Charamba is trying to contain the situation, is just trying to send a different message to the people, which is to simply say, relax, do not worry about the report. It will not do anything, it will not change anything. But is that true? No, it is not true. The reflection of this report is on the SADC head of states who attended the inauguration of President Mnangagwa. This time around, 3 out of 16 attended. That alone is a message, a very clear message sent. Take a look onto the current head of the SADC. He didn't attend. Take a look on the next head of SADC. She didn't attend. So if you take a look on those important matters, take a look on the head of SADC Troika, they both didn't attend. That is a clear message to President Emerson Mnangagwa. Take a look on who congratulated President Mnangagwa. That is also a message to his leadership to say, Mr. Mnangagwa, you claim that you have won this election, but we do not recognize you because of A, B, C, D. Reasons being, Zimbabwe was supposed, through ZEC, was supposed to actually respond where necessary. They were supposed to respond to the issues raised by Dr. Mumba. More importantly, Zimbabwe Electoral Commission's actions right now, from the elections, from prior to the elections, to the elections, and after the elections, their actions, they reflect how the SADC is going to act, or how SADC can act. So Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has deviated from the previous principles they were using. In the past, for example, they published polling station-based results 4 days after the elections. Right now, 14 days after the elections, they have not published those results. That alone, it shows that Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is hiding something. 2018, Zimbabwe Electoral Commission was announcing results as per province. 2023, they used a different thing. They announced subsequently, just to say, Mningato wina zvakati. You have won 52%. You have lost with 44%. And that was the end. No explanation whatsoever. Whoever is speaking, we are seeing the ANC, ZANU-PF, speaking on behalf of Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, speaking on behalf of other sympathizers. We have seen ZANU-PF Varakashi going onto social media, clearly indicating that what they wanted was for ZANU-PF to win this election, and they worked together with the ANC. That is the reason why you are seeing SADC heads of state, for example, Cyril Ramaphosa, they've been warned. President Gaino from Namibia, they have been warned on their association with the Zimbabwean government. Reasons being, they are likely going to violate the SADC guidelines and principles on elections, on democratic elections. So what it means is they will render a crisis in the whole region if they do not handle this matter well. So whatever position, whether this matter is going to be dealt with today, tomorrow, or any other day, it doesn't matter. What matters are the consequences of this election. What is not known is the action going to be taken by Nelson Chamisa. What is he going to do? Is he going to put people in the streets? Yes, it's possible. He may just call people to say, let's occupy the streets. And there is nothing President Mnangagwa and his government can do to stop people who are already angry. So right now, the reason why people are not in the streets is because Nelson Chamisa has restrained them. He has told them not to go into the streets. So you do not know what is happening, who is happy, who is not happy. You do not know. So the people in general do not know what is next. So what does that mean? What that means is that these people do not know really what is going to happen next. So SADC should quickly deal with this matter, resolve this matter whilst there is still peace. So I don't believe that it will have to take that long before it is resolved, because remember, Nelson Chamisa has refused to sign the results. He has refused to recognize the outcome of the just ended elections. And the reports, all the reports, they point otherwise. They support the position taken by the opposition. So what it means is we are in a crisis. How do we resolve a crisis? We have to sit down. We have to take this matter seriously. That is the only way. So you see them trying to contain the situation, trying to deal with this situation, trying to send a different message so that the people of Zimbabwe will say, so relax, there is nothing SADC is going to do. So ngatingotambura. But in my view, I believe that George Charamba was just trying to contain a situation, but he did it in a wrong way. I don't know what you think. I don't know how you view it. I have just decided to bring my own views. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts.